If you've been struggling to lose weight for a while, or maybe you've hit a plateau with your weight loss journey, then there's a pretty good chance that the things that you're doing in the morning are part of the problem. And for a lot of people, making just one or two or a few adjustments to their morning routine is all it takes to get that scale moving again.
Welcome to the V-Shred Better Body, Better Life podcast, where we help you live your best life while working on your health and fitness goals. We're here to make your journey fun and inspiring.
Hey there, what's going on? Excited to have you here on our latest episode of the V-Shred Better Body, Better Life podcast. I'm your host, Vince Sant, and I'm glad you could join me for today's episode about some morning habits that can help speed up your weight loss efforts, right? And I think this is something that gets overlooked a lot. And so I'm going to break down a few specific habits that you can adopt that can help to speed up your weight loss and just speed up the progress, help out with recovery, all the good things that you need to be doing, right? Now, before I get into it, I want to be clear about something. These are habits, right? These are not little tricks or hacks that you're going to do one morning or just a few mornings and you're going to start seeing results. So instead, I want you to look at these as something that you want to include in your morning routine. And so that means if you don't have a morning routine right now, it's time to create a morning routine. So whatever your morning routine looks like right now, or whatever you think it's going to look like, I want you to think of ways that you can add maybe just one or two, or maybe all five of these things to that routine. And you don't have to do them all at once. In fact, you might find it easier to do just one or two every few weeks so that you don't feel like you're overwhelming yourself by trying to do all these brand new things every single morning. So it's totally okay if it takes you a couple months to adopt them all, but at least get started on one this week, if not tomorrow morning. Okay, so let's get into the first one. And the first one is going to be about trying out intermittent fasting, right? So a lot of people that we've worked with who struggle to get in shape or they struggle to get the scale moving, a lot of them find that this morning habit makes a big difference. And usually it only takes like a week or two to work. And fasting is basically just where you have a window of fasting where you don't eat anything. You can drink just basically water, coffee maybe, and then you have a window of eating. And generally, best practice is to go a 16-hour fast followed by an 8-hour eating window. And this, people just find that this helps them with their morning routine because they're not eating in the morning, right? And so if you want to back up to the night before, if you're doing the 16-8 split, let's say you stop eating food at 8 p.m. And so you eat your last meal at 7:30, and you know that you're not eating anything else for the rest of the night. That first off helps you not be as tempted to go to the pantry and snack because you know you already had your last meal. That also helps put you into a fasted state before bed. And so your body's no longer digesting food. And so you get better sleep. That helps you wake up feeling a little bit better. And also when you wake up, you're not worried about what you're going to eat for breakfast. And so that first decision that usually pops into your mind pretty early on in the morning is now removed. And you can focus on waking the kids up, taking them to school, or maybe getting some movement in, or focusing on work first thing. And so you can just be a lot more efficient with your time. Also, some people find that this helps them out with just having better mental clarity or energy. It can help energize people because they're not feeling like they're getting mentally foggy or tired from having a bunch of carbs right first thing in the morning because they hit McDonald's on their way to work and now they're having this crash at 11 a.m. And so it helps to avoid a lot of things. But I think the main thing is if you stop eating at 8 p.m., it creates this rule that you don't eat again until 2 p.m. For what some people find, just having that structure helps them out a lot than trying to just figure out what they're going to eat in the morning. The other thing is it helps to regulate your blood sugar levels, helps promote fat burning by getting you into a fasted state. And also having a shorter eating window makes it easier to stick to a caloric deficit. If you're only eating 8 hours a day versus eating 12 hours a day, it's your meals are going to fill you up a little bit more and you're going to find it a little bit easier to eat less food because you're not eating as much throughout the day, right? But fasting is definitely not for everybody. Me personally, I love breakfast. It's my favorite meal of the day. I look forward to it every single morning. And so I'm not the type of person who would be doing this one, but I do recommend trying it. And I have tried it. And that's how I found out it didn't work for me. Now, second thing And this one's going to be probably the easiest, but also the easiest one to ignore. And that is to fire up your metabolism in the morning by hydrating. And if you think you drink a little bit of water in the morning, I want you to drink more. And if you don't drink any water in the morning, you need to start drinking water in the morning. So for example, first thing I do when I wake up is I drink about probably 10 to 14 ounces of water immediately. I always have my shaker bottle next to me. If you've ever seen me or see me in videos or out in public, I literally always have a shaker bottle and it's on my nightstand every single night. First thing I do when I wake up, I usually have dry mouth anyways. And so I'll just drink down 10, 12, 14 ounces of water, and then go shower, get my morning routine. And then what I'll do when I get downstairs is I'll drink another 8 to 12 ounces of water. And then this is salt water. I also mix in greens by Sculpt Nation. And so it's a little morning cocktail that I make that just helps me become more hydrated and feel ready and just feel better about my day. And also, if you want to, you can add a little bit of lemon to your water for a little extra boost. I'm not a big fan of lemon water, but it's something that can definitely help. You can also mix your water with apple cider vinegar. I definitely recommend diluting the apple cider vinegar and doing like a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar with probably 8 to 10 ounces of water because it can be a little harmful to your teeth. But yeah, drinking water in the morning, a great little hack and a very easy one to do to speed up your metabolism, help out with digestion, and also help to fight off some of those morning cravings and morning hunger pains. Okay, so now moving on to the next habit, we're going to talk a little bit about movement, right? And so for this one, it's going to be all about just walking on an empty stomach for 15 to 20 minutes in the morning. And you could even do this for 10 to 15 minutes in the morning. The main thing is just to get moving and to actually set aside a little bit of time to do this every single day. And this is not a workout. Don't think that this is supposed to be some sort of HIIT workout or like steady state cardio where you're jogging or resistance training. It's none of that. This is just a slow paced, mindful walk where you're not speed walking. You're not focusing on burning calories. Doing this on an empty stomach helps to get energy going throughout the body, get your blood flowing throughout the body so it can help you set you up for a more successful day. And you can do this outside. You can do this on a treadmill. You can do this around your house. You can do this literally walking up and down your steps. And once you start doing this, I think what you're going to find is that it's almost like therapy. When you start your day with a walk alone or even with a loved one, you're going to be getting a little bit of sun, which is going to be some good vitamin D. And you're just going to have a little bit of time to think, and that's going to help you de-stress and map out your day a little bit better. And so it's like a little therapy session first thing in the morning. So try it out. Now, next thing I will say is mindset is going to be a big piece of this. And so the next tip that I want to talk about is helping speed up weight loss with a mindset tune-up. And this one can definitely be a little bit more challenging, but I promise you that the reward will be greater than the challenge. Okay. So obviously your brain is super receptive first thing in the morning, which is why the morning is a great time to consume something motivational or inspirational or learn something new or just become mentally clear on what your day is going to consist of, and also to avoid any kind of toxic nonsense with social media or anything like that. I generally try to stay away from any sort of social media for the first hour after being awake. And that's something I definitely recommend to everybody. So within that first hour, instead of getting on social media, what I want you to do is dedicate a few minutes, and it can be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes just to some sort of mindfulness practice. And there's a lot of like mindfulness meditations on YouTube that you can watch for free. There's tons of apps that you can do to sign up for. Calm app is a great one. This is not a promo. You can set some positive intentions for the day, do some positive affirmations. Just give yourself 5 to 10 minutes every single morning and only focus on that. And think about it as that 5 or 10 minutes is setting the tone for the entire day. And so you're removing stress, you're removing anxiety, you're not being down on yourself, you're not talking bad to yourself. You're just focused on the positives that you have in your life. You're practicing gratitude, and you're just setting some visualizations of your goals and how you want your day to play out. And over time, this will become a habit, and this will probably become one of your favorite things that you've ever done and something that you cannot live without. And then the final morning habit that I want to talk about, and this one's going to be more related to your nutrition, and this is to load up on fiber for not only your first meal, but for really all your meals. Because if you like to prepare your day's food in the morning, like if you're meal prepping in the morning, make sure that you include some sort of fiber-rich food at pretty much every single meal. Because fiber and fibrous foods are like whole grains and fresh fruits, and veggies and nuts and seeds, because fiber helps you feel more full, and it also helps with healthier digestion. And so eating these fruits, eating these vegetables is just a great way to boost your fiber intake, and also just make sure to chew everything. Otherwise, you could get a little bit bloated. So chew everything fully. And remember, you can also add more fiber slowly throughout the week. So you don't have to just throw in a ton of fiber day one, because it could lead to just some, digestive issues or some cramping. But if you do it a little bit more slowly and you add a little bit more each day, you're going to find that your body handles it perfectly. Also, drink lots of water. I know we already talked about this, but drink lots of water as you increase your fiber intake, and that will just help keep everything moving and working better. But those are the 5 things. So real quick, let's just recap the morning habits I covered. First is going to be to practice intermittent fasting. Just try it out, right? Second, hydrate first thing in the morning. Personally, I'm getting 20 to 24 ounces of water before anything within the first 20, 30 minutes of waking up. And then also go for a little walk, 10, 15, 20 minutes on an empty stomach, get your body moving. And then do a mindset tune-up also. So the walk is good for a mindset tune-up, but also just some sort of mindfulness practice. And then the last thing was to make a plan to eat more fiber. Okay. Now, if you enjoyed this and you want to know some more habits and routines that can help you get results, remember, you can always work with one of our elite coaches. They're here to work with you. They want to work with you and they want to create a completely customized program for you that includes all the rituals and all the habits that you need to get great results. And right now we do have some spots available in our VIP coaching program. And we've already had thousands of people get some pretty crazy transformations. It's a 3-month program. We guarantee your results. And so if you need some help getting back on track, or you're just ready to get this thing going for the first time ever, there should be a link down below. Click that link in the description for more information just about how this coaching program works. And if it's not an option, remember, you can always go to our Facebook group. You can ask questions from our coaches. And there's also a massive support group in there that can give you all the motivation, inspiration that you need. All you got to do is ask. So that wraps up today's episode. Hopefully you learned something and found this helpful. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of V-Shred's Better Body, Better Life podcast. Whether you're doing one of our programs, taking our supplements, or just doing things on your own, tune in every week for exclusive content with Vince, V-Shred trainers, and special guests as they share valuable tips around motivation, workouts, food, and living a healthier lifestyle. See you next time.